Hi, this is Dee at Aloha, Astro. We're looking at a new moon in the mutable air sign of Gemini, which is occurring on both June 17th and 18th, right past midnight at 12:37 a.m. on the 18th. It will be at 26 degrees 43 minutes. Let's take a look at the forecast that I've written. New moon in Gemini, Saturday, June 17th and Sunday, June 18th, casts a magical glow on social interactions and imaginative ideas, but you could be caught up in a flight of fancy that may not become an enduring reality, as the moon conjunct the sun in Gemini forms a square aspect with Neptune in Pisces, while Mercury in Gemini forms a square aspect with Saturn in Pisces, and a sextile aspect with Venus conjunct Mars in Leo. This new moon offers the mental agility and open-minded characteristics of the mutable air sign of Gemini, the inspiration, intuition, and faith of the mutable water sign of Pisces, and the courage, creativity, passion, and regal energy of the fixed fire sign of Leo, as your basis for writing a new moon story that begins with "Once upon a time there was a queen or king," and ends with "Happily ever after." Jupiter conjunct the North Node in Taurus, square to Venus and Mars, and sextile to Saturn retrograde, and Uranus in Taurus, square to Venus and Mars, and trine to Pluto retrograde in Capricorn, demand that you continue your quest even when you tire or your faith ebbs. Just because you don't have what you desire yet doesn't mean you never will. Create the feeling of having it and worry less about the when and how. Be open to meeting other people or manifesting opportunities beyond your imagination, which may be better than your current idealized person or situation. Decree this or something better as you write your intentions. Kick off this summer solstice week with a gathering of friends or a recreational trip. Let's take a look at what we have going on in the sky. And we're skipping the Sabian symbol today because it's got a word in it that is now considered a racial slur. And of course, it was written quite a long time ago, but I'm simply choosing not to reinforce the use of that word. The basic Sabian symbol, what we got out of the symbol was inner learning, wisdom, and understanding that leads to transformation. Basically, an elevated spiritual awareness that goes beyond the mere material. And that does make sense, of course, based on a lot of the influence of Pisces that we have. Even though this is a Gemini moon, we have a lot of imagination, illusion, inspiration, faith, idealism, the energy of seeking something perfect or ideal, but we still have to deal with the reality. And we have a bit of a standoff between Saturn and Neptune, both hanging out in Pisces, and Saturn is the realist and Neptune is the dreamer. So they both have supportive sextiles, Saturn to Jupiter and Neptune to Pluto, which kind of magnify and intensify both these planets. They're both getting extra muscle behind them because of the planets that are supporting them. And then they are making some challenges to the faster moving planets that have more of an effect on personal reactions, responses, opinions, how we are viewing the world right now, the lens that we're looking through. We have Saturn making that square to Mercury, and we have Neptune making that square to the moon and the sun. So all of that energy right now of Mercury, sun, and moon are occurring in Gemini. And Gemini is a mutable sign, which means flexible and adaptable, but it's also dual. It can choose to look at things one way or another. And it is important to watch your thoughts and watch your words because they do create things, especially when you put the energy of emotion behind your thoughts and feelings. We also have highly creative Leo energy with a conjunction of Venus and Mars. And this is making people very passionate and creative. People who are already creators, where it's important for them to be generating ideas and working on projects and basically putting that creative energy out there, are going to find that they're enjoying the greater ease, flow, attention, ability to reach their audience or find a platform to bring their creativity forward. But even people who don't have or don't think they have any creativity whatsoever may suddenly be interested in, I don't know, taking a painting class, a dance class, doing something that is creative. This opens up some childlike energy. Gemini rules the third house, which, among other things, is early childhood education, formative ideas, imagination, siblings, the idea of our neighbors close to us, around us, people we treat like brothers and sisters. And then we have Leo energy, and that has rulership over the fifth house. Children, creativity, play. This is where we play and create in the Leo vibe, and where we imagine and communicate and get social, where we make acquaintances and get to know people under the Gemini influence. And that sextile is lovely right now. This is the time to be a little bit more courageous. Put yourself out there. What is the worst that can happen? Think about that, really. What is the worst that can happen? Something very good might happen. And honestly, there are plenty of good aspects that say, yes, if you follow through and do something, or if you express yourself, if you go out and say hi to that person, if you decide to take that class, if you try, you might just get lucky. We have nice luck transits as well. Jupiter and Uranus are moving through a sign that's associated with the second house of personal finances, money, self-worth, self-esteem, values. And we have the North Node conjunct Jupiter, which brings an energy of extra good, blessings, help. If you are on a path, if you feel that what you are doing is purposeful, and if you're not just doing it for your own gain, but you also want to do good, and you are going to be sharing and bringing something constructive forward, as we see with that sextile to Saturn in Pisces. And of course, Pisces energy wants good old world peace and heal and rescue and save everybody. And Saturn in Pisces definitely wants to see good things being done rather than money being wasted, time being wasted, opportunities being wasted. It's looking for fertile ground. That's what the Taurus energy can be providing right now, is fertile ground with that North Node and Jupiter conjunct. And for those who've been, wondering about fate, destiny, or karma, you might get the actual demonstrations of it now, that one good turn does lead to another, that you put good intentions out into the world and good things come back. Or you give a little bit of money to somebody over there and suddenly you get a scratch-off ticket and you win a couple of $100 or something like that. So your luck is really what you are making right now, because Saturn is realistic and it's work-oriented and it's practical. But we have the unpredictability and that lightning strike energy of Uranus in Taurus, and it is being empowered by Pluto right now in Capricorn. For some people, that retrograde of both Pluto and Saturn, which are very much about the endurance and the longevity of something and being very determined, using willpower and continuing to work at something, will be able to resurrect something from the past and now see a profit. Or maybe turn around and sell something that they bought a long time ago and see a profit, particularly if it involves land or real estate, because of the Capricorn and Taurus influence. Anything that you put your effort and energy into right now is likely to increase your money or your luck or something else good in your life. However, there's a lot of wild card energy in here too, or the fact that we're here down on the ground and there's things going on in other dimensions in a spiritual realm that might have other plans for us. I believe at times that we do manifest things ourselves, but I also believe that if something's not going to be the best thing for us, or where we're going to gain our lesson, or where we need to be at the moment, then there will be other things that come along and change the story, change the picture. And we're at a time and place right now, while we have this new moon in Gemini, that things could be different than you imagine them to be. And it is important to simply stay receptive to something maybe better while you continue to work at what's in front of you and keep focusing on your desires. If you focus more upon the feeling that you would like to have, if, let's say, you find your soulmate or your dream house or your ideal job, how would that feel? What does that look like? What's the atmosphere? What surrounds you? What does your day look like? How do you spend your time in that new circumstance or situation or relationship? Rather than looking at a particular person or job or house or whatever it is and saying, it has to be that. Keep your mind open, because there may be something even better that you are not able to see right now, because we do have some of that distortion or fogginess that's coming in from this square, and it is the dominant aspect at the time of the new moon, this square between the new moon and Neptune in Pisces. We can only see just so far in this dimension. We can attempt to go to other dimensions and gain greater knowledge or information through things like meditation or consulting a spiritual advisor or having your chart read and see what the transits are saying, which is all helpful, but we really rarely, if ever, get a full, clear picture of the future. And whenever we change our thoughts and feelings about something, we begin to change the story, and what we attract to us can be something entirely different. So keep moving ahead, keep your goal in mind, think about how it feels, and leave the door open for spirit to come in and offer you something else if something else is going to serve you better. And it is also possible at this time that you could be a facilitator for other people to achieve a dream, or it could even be something very simple, something that you don't value anymore, that you are looking to dispose of or get rid of, and somebody else might need it or want it. And it's as simple as saying, do you want this? And handing it on. Stay in gratitude, stay open, and stay kind. And I will talk with you in 2 weeks when we look at a full moon. Take care.